Oluwagbenga, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. Oluwagbenga Okupowale. Please come up front of me. Without me even saying a word, you can see that he has gone all the way to the United States to represent Nigeria as a member of the Yali family. Now, Oluwagbenga Okupowale is a communications expert and social entrepreneur. He's an alumnus of the Leadership in Business Institute of Kellogg School of Management, USA. He has a certification in integrated marketing communications from IE Business School, Spain. He also has a certification in humanitarian communication from the University of Geneva, Switzerland, and a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria. Yes! Inspired by the plight of millions of unemployed youth, Oluwagbenga founded ePower.ng, a digital agency building websites and mobile apps to passionately grow businesses, as well as training youth to accelerate the application of digital skills for economic prosperity across Africa. He is a Mandela Washington Fellow, Tony Elumelu Fellow, Royal Commonwealth Society Fellow, Yali Star of Business, Yali Network Influencer, and Tony Elumelu Influencer. Oluwagbenga is the founder of Africa's biggest orphanage outreach, the Orphan Empowerment Society, empowering thousands of orphans. Now, we join me to welcome to this event, Okupowale Oluwagbenga.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Please, 1 minute break. A Toyota Camry silver color is right at the entrance or the main gate, and it has the plate number FKJ 5207. Please, if it's yours, go out and go and park here. And go and park, yeah. A Toyota Camry silver color FKJ 5207. Thank you.
What is it? Alright. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. I'm very excited to be here. Now, usually I like very energetic, very responsive sessions. So I assure you, you are not going to sleep. You're not going to fall asleep. I want to start this way. I want you to look at your neighbor, talk to your neighbor, and ask your neighbor, are you ready? No, you're not saying you're ready. Look at somebody else, ask the person, are you ready? Okay. Because we're going to talk about opportunities for women, right? Now, I want you to look at this picture. Let me move so that you can see very well. Look at this picture, right? What can you notice about this picture? Look very critically at this picture. What can you notice? Tell me the things that you can observe about this picture. People are not smiling, okay? What else? There are more men. Thank you very much. Very important. What else?
The men are smiling.
The men are smiling. What else again? Look at the eyes. That's actually not true. So let me tell you what happened in this picture. In this picture you're looking at, the people that you are seeing their heads actually did like this, including myself. We are almost at the same height, but because they wanted to show the guys at the back, including myself, we tiptoe. Someone say tiptoe. So, if you want to understand part of the issues we have with women not grabbing opportunities, just look at this picture. A lot of times when we apply for programs, global fellowships, let me give you an example. In my class at Kellogg School of Business, we only had about 7 ladies out of the class of 25. A lot of programs right now, you will see that they will write there, women are encouraged to apply. How many of you have seen things like that? Yeah. It's because women are not applying. I want you to tap the and say, wake up. See, it is because of that thing today. I keep ready for you. Too many women are sleeping. Too many women are sleeping. Honestly, the best time to be a woman right now is now. It's now. There's so many opportunities. Women appreciate themselves now. So I'm not talking about the opportunity paradox. Very good. What is the opportunity paradox? Okay. This is not very sharp, so I'm going to try to read out. The first is that our culture confines women and and girls to the kitchen and the other room. How many of you can relate with this? Our culture. See, I remember as a last member of my family, and we only have one lady. Growing up, the only people who used to spend time in the kitchen were what? My mom and my sister. The only thing I ever did in the kitchen was what? Just wash plates. Finish. Finish. Now, what is the culture of teaching women and girls? The kitchen is what? Your place. Right? Your office. Exactly. As if women and girls cannot do any other thing left, right? I'm going somewhere. Another thing is that girls now go into women who seldom apply for global opportunities. This is the reason why even the Elementary Foundation, like they deliberately tilt the scale, they deliberately ensure that more women apply. And I'm straight to that, they advertising. They deliberately target more women. See, I'm a fellow, so I'm not saying what I don't know. The fellowship, they deliberately target more women so that they can get more women to apply. So when I said wake up the other time, I know what I'm talking about. Women need to apply for more opportunities, but I'm going somewhere. Another thing is that several organizations, like I said earlier, are deliberately tilting the scales. But the question I have for you is, how can you stand on a scale that you cannot see? See, UN, UNESCO, World Bank, all of these big organizations, they want to lift up women. They want women, to grasp opportunities. But the question is, how can you take what you cannot see? You need to first see it in order for you to seize it. So therefore, today I came ready for you, and we are going to talk about these opportunities. How many of you are excited? Ready? Fantastic. I like this. Okay, let's move. I know that the slide it's probably a little bit difficult to read, but I'll do my very best. So let's talk about the opportunities that are open to women. What kind of opportunities are open to women? What kind? Let's talk about them. Okay, first is grants. Somebody say grants.
Grants.
I can't hear you. Somebody say grants.
Grants.
Now, essentially, what is grants? Grants is free money. Like free money. So, now, I'm not going to tell you that grants are easy to win. No. But I'm going to tell you that they are winnable. Because what anybody has done, you can do too. Are you with me? In 2017, when I applied for Tony grant, about 150,000 people applied. And they only selected like 1,000. But this year, they have more funding. They are going to select at least around 3,000. And because this year they've changed the method, how many of you have tried to apply? Okay, so if you try to know that they changed the method, you have to take an assessment test. Because it's tougher now, a lot of people are dragging their feet. And how do I know? Because I'm a fellow, I'm an influencer, they send some emails. Part of the emails they send to us is like, we should mobilize people to apply. So I know that enough people are not applying. And I know that enough women are not applying. So I want to talk to your neighbor and say apply. Oh, you cannot say you're looking for something. Say apply! See, they want to beg you to win $5,000. We will beg you. We will beg you. Okay. Now, that's grant. Another one is fellowships. Now, what are fellowships? Fellowships are programs designed to recognize experts, designed to recognize leaders who are going somewhere. Now, what kind of fellowship do we have? For instance, you may have heard about the Mandela Washington Fellowship. How many of us have heard about fellowship? Right? So, now, that's one fellowship. Tony Elmeli is also a fellowship. So, some fellowships come with grants. Do you understand? It's not every time that fellowship is just decorate your head or something like that. No. Some fellowships also come with money, right? But some other fellowships, they don't come with grants. So, there's Tony Elmeli Fellowship, there's Royal Commonwealth Fellowship. There are so many fellowships. Now, the fellowships is usually what happens is they usually involve international exchange programs. What does that mean? It means that if you win a fellowship, maybe Royal Commonwealth or say Mandela Washington, what will happen is you will travel to the UK or travel to the US. Like MWF, for instance, we went to the States for about 6 weeks. That was last year, right? Now, let me just crack a joke. So before I traveled to the States, the only place where I'd seen the United States was in my affirmations. Not even in my dreams. I had like this affirmation that I wrote. And as time I wrote them, I didn't even have a passport. And it was something like this. From Accra to Ankara, and from Goshen to Washington. Kings and queens request for my presence, and I place the world with my essence. Note, by the time I wrote this, not only was I very broke, I didn't even have a passport. Right? But I have to announce to you that not only have I been to ticked Accra on the list, I ticked Washington on the list. I think it's probably Washoe and Ankara that are not on the list, but I've ticked other places on the list. I ticked UAE on the list, Bahrain on the list, like that. So, fellowships are very important. If, for instance, you are applying for a job, let's say an accounting job, and somebody has ICANN, and you don't have ICANN, and you are applying for the same accounting job, who will they be? It's very simple. It's a no-brainer. Are you following me? Yeah. So you need to actively pursue fellowships. Sometimes you go for seminars and they go like, don't pursue all these things. Just make sure that you are impacting the world. Meanwhile, the person that is telling you that has like 3 fellowships. Is that person trying to help you? See, I must be very real here. I must be very real. You need to be strategic. You need to pursue fellowships. Because these things will give you a hedge in your career, especially if you're looking for a job. See, somebody once said, I went for a program and the person was saying that MSc has become the new PSc. Yes. Right? And PhD has become the new MSc. Because if you say you have PSc, so what? Like so many people have PSc. If you say you have HND, congratulations. What's so special? Are we together? You need to pursue fellowships. Now let's move. What about scholarships? How many of you would like to study abroad? Maybe master's PhD. Can I see your hand? I see people who want to run away from this country. Now, scholarships are very good for you, especially if you want to, if you're pursuing a career in academia. Even if you're not pursuing a career in academia, MBA, right? Imagine you. Okay, so let me tell you another thing about me. All the flights that I've ever taken in my life, I have never spent one dollar on flights. Everything has been all expenses paid. Every single thing has been all expenses paid. So that's two ways to travel. You can either travel with your own money, or what? Or other people's money. Someone say other people's money. It's possible. And you know what? All expenses paid trips, they are the sweetest. That can shoot your profile. In 2013, for instance, I participated in a writing competition. It's a flash fiction. They stopped it now. But Etara was doing this short story contest then, right? And I made top 20. Now, that top 20 finish, you didn't win. As at that time, even till now, if you Google my name, it's one of the things that will come up. Not like I'm trying to build a career in writing or anything. I like writing short stories. But do you know what that means? It means that if I'm going to apply for maybe a writing job or a writing fellowship, and I tell them that I was a top 20 finalist in external competition across Africa, versus somebody just saying I can write. Who will they believe? Who will they believe? So you need to actively chase competitions that help to showcase the skills and the talents that you have. If you're, I want to use practical examples here for instance. Mark, what is your profession? Or your area? Sorry? You're a journalist. So for instance, for you, you should be actively tracking journalism competitions. Right? Maybe something about writing a story and fellowships around that. Are you getting it? Because things like that showcase your professionalism. Are we together? Now let's go on. And then of course conferences. If you're a Nigerian politician, you will like this last one. You know Nigerian politicians like to travel, no? We like to travel. But let's break this home. Why should you pursue conferences as a leader, as a female leader? Conferences, especially if you're in academia, conferences connect you with your mentors. They connect you with people that you can partner with. They also expose you to the latest cutting-edge research. So, therefore, you should also pursue conferences. Now, this is it. Global opportunities are hard to get into. But like I said earlier, the people that go into them, they don't have to wait. You can get into them. So what are the things that you need to do in order for you to attract these opportunities? Who's ready? Who's ready? Okay, so I'm going to do a very quick exercise, right? I want you to wave. And I want you to wave to the extent to which you want to win global opportunities. Fellowships, like jobs, and scholarships. So I like this exercise so much because it shows people who are already filled up. See, we all know the size of our bank accounts. We all know our accomplishments. Maybe some of you already have PhDs and you're already here, right? But some of us, we still want to do more and more fellowships. So I want you to wave to the extent to which you want to win all of those opportunities. Now, if you wave like this, right, you already know that you're probably a professor, PhD. You already want 100 million in your account, so we understand. But if you are someone like me, hungry for more success, you want to know all this, I want you to wave aggressively. So let's go. Wave! Wave to the extent to which you want to win. I want to see people. Wow! Wow! This is good. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Alright. So, I want to share with you very quickly 4 tips to win global opportunities. In fact, you can call me the opportunity apostle. Because a lot of the speaking engagements that I've been doing, we have been around opportunities. Come and share opportunities. So you might as well call me the opportunity apostle. And this thing works. How do I know? Just barely 1 week ago, my PA got selected as a global ambassador for a major organization, my own PA. I was excited. I was like, yes, she's catching the fire. Because what's the sense of you being paid somebody and you're just listening and listening? Somebody gets in what I'm saying. You can catch the fire. It's Catch it. So number one, pick a problem. Somebody say problem. I can't hear. Somebody say problem. Now, see, when I was in school, I just used to do computer training. And computer training, I put money in my pocket. How many of you have seen all those signboards? They say, come and learn. Sure, you understand? Come and learn for 3 weeks. Computer training. That's what I used to do. Until I attended a program like this. And what did the speaker say? The speaker said, I think I asked the question and stuff. The speaker was like, no, computer training is not what you are doing. He's like, what problem are you really solving? I don't know. I'm just doing computer training. And one is, he said, no. He said, so when people get trained, what will now happen? I said, they will now be able to put it on their CV. And what will now happen? They will now be able to get jobs. He said, so what you're solving is unemployment. Ladies and gentlemen, that simple line is what catapulted me to so many opportunities. Because I now changed my message. I switched my message from just someone who was a computer training to what? An anti-unemployment crusader. See, what you do and how you say what you do is just as important. It's very, very important. So the number one thing is you need to pick a problem. Pick which problem keeps you awake at night. What are you always complaining about? Now, I want us to talk about the things that irritate us about Nigeria. Let me start. Erratic power supply. See my hand up. In fact, are we running on gen? I'm surprised that they're not taking power. To thank God for their lives. Please, if you work at NEPA Pacing or electricity distribution, I'm not trying to spoil your market. I'm just saying it the way it is. So I want us to quickly share now. What are those things that irritate us about Nigeria? The issues that you keep talking about. Let's share. And me as started. I said power supply. What else? Unemployment. Thank you very much. What else? Malnutrition, yes. Policing abuse. Exactly. Police. What is stopping on the way? You know that they are not stopping you because they care about whether you are in a light or anything. What do you want to collect? Money. Exactly. Please be a police officer here. I'm not even saying these things. They are the ones. Okay, what else again? Poverty. Okay, what else? Insecurity. Now, see, when you now pick a problem, you need to pick a problem that you are passionate about. Do you understand? That's the key. If you pick energy, for instance, maybe power supply, that means that you are passionate about it. Because if you pick a problem just because you want to give fellowships and grants, you'll be tired. You won't last. See, there are people that are more fellowships and grants and they just travel and they're not fulfilled. You don't want to be that kind of person. Do you understand? You want to do it because you really care about it. And so when all these things come, they're like Jara on top of your somebody will be. Right? So you don't want to do things because they said we can travel and now you're traveling. No, you don't want to do it. You'll be empty. You want to do it because you truly care about the problem. So right now, everybody, I want you to write down on your piece of paper 3 problems that get you crazy, drive you crazy about this country. Write it down. Now, 3 problems. Let's go. I want you to write down 3 problems that drive you crazy about this country. 3 problems. Someone said, well, I'm not there. I am not there. Are we done? 3 problems. Please, does anybody need extra sheet? You know it is in Nigeria. Sometimes you are writing an exam, you don't even know what to write, you are eating your Bible, and one wicked person at the back just asks you extra sheet. I'm not happy here. You want to go? Where? Okay. Alright. So who would like to share with us very quickly? Because I want us to do something. I want us to connect the problems with SDGs. Yes, please. Unemployment. So no. Let's stop there. Unemployment. So what SDG can we connect that to? Please, we know about SDGs. There are 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. You need to connect anything that you're doing, any business, any solution, any idea. You need to connect it to the SDGs. Why? Because that is the language of big organizations and big institutions. That is where the world is going. So therefore, don't just talk about unemployment. Connect it. That will be SDG 8, right? Decent work. Are you getting it? Connect whatever it is you're doing with SDGs. Somebody say SDGs. No, I can't. Somebody say SDGs. SDGs. Very important. Thank you so much. Because of our time, we'll just make it one. Thank you so much. Now, pick a problem. Out of the 3 on your list now, everybody, I want you to just pick one. Because you're going to use that one as an example as we go through all the points. Are we together? Good. Let's move to number 2. when you now pick a problem, you need to learn non-stop. So, this is the version of me that sat in NYC. Look at how fat I am here. I know I'm very fat here. I am very fat here. Yes, okay, so that was the government at the time, British water. I want America one. Now, I want to go back to how this happened. When I say learn non-stop, see, when you pick a problem, the next thing is that you want to learn as much as possible about that problem. You want to learn about the solutions, you want to learn the things that you need to know, right? So, the very first time I was called a professor in my life, it was not when I was in school. It was when I was in NYC camp. That was the first time they called me a professor. Now, what happened in camp? What happened was, you should have SDG goals. Is there any study comment by here? Anybody? But if you go through NYC, you know that they will put you in groups. There will be, then it was MDG then, right? You have different groups. So, Millennium Development goes there. So, I was in MDG group. Now, it was also 1 week of training. Day 1 of training, I did not say a single word. I just sat down. And you know when you don't talk, another people are talking. What do the people say? What else can they say? You are shy. What else again?
You are proud.
You are proud. You are loud. People are like, people are saying, you must be proud. Day 1, I didn't say anything. Day 2, I just answered one question. By day 3, oh God, I got fired. When the lecturer comes and says SDG1, not only will I give them the goals, the convention, I will give them the latest report about it, what is happening in the world. I will give them news breakdown, give them definition. Even the lecturer, those were people, they said, oh yeah, come and take the matter. It was that serious. That was when they started calling me professor. Now, where did this learning take me? Number 1, I was valedictorian in our, when you finish, they will say, come and deliver speech. I was the one that delivered the speech. So, in our high school, they were already noticing me that, who is this crazy guy? They were already noticing me. By the time I went to serve in my community, I was the busiest core member. I was involved in different things. I was involved in SCCF. In my community, I was doing multiple projects. The story, because of time, I'll probably tell you the full story, right? But by the time I finished my service here, the people that were, see, there are 2 kinds of core members. They are the physical core members, and they are the ones who call ghosts. You know those ones that the only time they show up is once a month to come and sign clearance. And then the next time you see them, you know what? The next month. Right? Now, what is the impact of learning non-stop? See, when you learn non-stop, you become a magnet. You go beyond becoming a resource, you become a resource person. When you learn non-stop. I'll give you another example. There was a time PCOST invited about 4 of us for an interview. We know PCOS Saturday Special. I think that was about 2 years ago. So they invited about 3 or 4 digital marketers and they gave us different slots. So they said we should come and speak. Now I prepared for that slot as if my life depended on it. As if they were going to pay us. That was how I prepared for it. By the time they asked us to come, I was the last person to go on that slot. When I finished speaking, the people in the studio, they were like, my God, where did you get this crazy guy? Now let me tell you what has happened as a result of that single interview. Since that time, anytime business wants to do something on social media or digital marketing, guess who they always calling? Me. In January, I spent $150 on 3 online courses in January. Now, I know that some people spend way more, but just to give you an idea of how you need to take your learning seriously. You need to learn non-stop. Okay, now, if for instance you want to build your career in, say, journalism, like our sister here for instance, right? What are the things you need to be doing? For instance, you need to actively chase journalism fellowships, right? You need to take online courses. I want us to use practical examples. Can somebody just tell me maybe a place where they want to build their career or something they want to do, so that we can talk about how they can learn non-stop? Anybody? Lead a volunteer. Yes, what would you like to do or build a career on? Nothing. So have you taken the professional courses? Right? You're planning to take them. You're a student. As a student, what can you do? Have you started taking online courses? You should. Don't wait until you finish.
I'm taking some live courses.
Some live courses. You need to take courses on Coursera. Someone say Coursera. I can't hear. Someone say Coursera. Do you know why I'm recommending Coursera? Because the courses on Coursera are hosted by the world's top universities. Do you understand? You pay to get a certificate, you pay $50. However, See, imagine that you put on a CV that you have a certification from maybe a university in Spain. Before they will ask you whether it's considered or not. When everybody sees Spain, I'm sure you know we like foreign things in this country.
Yes.
Imagine you go for an interview and they see your CV. And then on their CV, they are seeing, Barcelona, Spain, second one, Geneva. You will have made it to the interview before they find out that it's considered. Because how many people know all these things? Do you understand? So, this is what you're a student. You can write up those things. See, there are two kinds of students. There are students who are focused on GP, and there are other students who are focused on the future. The ones who are focused on the GP, we graduate and we asking what next. The ones who are focused on their future will graduate and the next day you hear that they have traveled out of the country. I'm not kidding. A friend of mine, her name is Seniko Labede, she finished with a 2-2. On the day she wrote her final exam, that was the day she traveled out to resume at Goldman Sachs in the UK. You don't understand? The other people were still asking themselves, how are we going to get a job? She had already started from her passport, voting plots, writing exams, writing all kinds of things. She dropped her paper like this. Only God knows if she has collected the certificate from where Kilo Fishe. You know how much they are paying her at Goldman Sachs. Meanwhile, some of you are students that focus on GP. See, it's good. Finish well. Finish with the first class, if possible a 2-1. But even if it's a 2-2, your grade is not the reason why you are broke. You are the one that's. How many was saying those people on the bicycle? Too many bicycles on the bicycle. Now, after you learn non-stop, what is the third thing? What is the third thing you need to do? You need to brand yourself. You need to brand yourself. See, what is the first thing we talked about? Being a problem. What's the second thing?
Learn non-stop.
Now, when you now learn non-stop, you now need to brand yourself. Let me explain the difference between a brand and a commodity. When was the last time you checked the maker of a pure water or maker of a resort plate before you bought it? When was the last time you checked? When you want to buy water, what do? You just buy it and you open it and you drink. What if you want to buy a new phone or a new laptop? Please, what kind of research do you do? Yes? You check the specification, you go online, some of you even call a friend, you ask the audience, and when some of you do 50-50, are we together? Yes. But if you want to buy a result plate, my brother, my sister, what will you do? 11 plates in 10 naira. Do we? What? You even check the maker. That is the difference between a brand. Thank you. The difference between a brand and a commodity. See, there are branded people and there are also commoditized people. Let me explain. How many of you belong to maybe a church or a mosque? We all belong to one organization, right? I mean, how many of us are JCI members here? JCI members. Fantastic. Now, in JCI, do you have at least one member that if they don't come to meeting, everybody's asking after them?
Yes.
Let me ask another question. Do you have that one member that even if they don't come for 6 months, nobody notices them? So therefore, it means that as they are branded products, they are branded people. As they are commoditized products, they are commoditized people. Help me ask Oliver, are you a brand? What's the answer? Yes or no? Yes or no? See, if your impact is not felt and your absence is not carried by commodity, how can you become a brand? Let me give you a practical example. So, during my fellowship in the United States, 6 weeks. Okay, let me give you some background. It took me 4 years of constantly applying to get into my fellowship. 4 years. I was applying, and I kept getting rejection mails. The first one, I went to semi-final, and then they asked me a question. They said, because I applied for the business track, they said, what is your yearly revenue? And at that time I was a freelancer, just finished service here. And of course, I was telling the truth. I said 500,000. They just looked at each other and they're like, 500,000. That was the end of the interview. Why? Because probably 100,000 is maybe one of their salaries for 1 month. And you are not saying that as a business person, the entire amount of money is what? You were just like, this guy is not serious. Oh, they're just smiling. Thank you for coming. Even myself, I knew like Jesus said on the cross, it's finished. So I applied again, and again, and again. And then the final time that I applied, 40, that was 2018, and I applied, right? What was different about my application? What was different? As at that time, even by the time they saw me, see, oh God, at the entrance of your destiny dress code admit. By the time they saw me and they saw this suit, they were already like saying, wow, you look so cool. I was like, thank you. The Isabella was loving me. I was like, thank you. I was so confident. I dressed like James Bond. In fact, that's something. Oh God. See, the Dragina. I walked with the Dragina. Like the suit was looking like Christmas morning. Do you understand? Usually when you want to apply for something, maybe a job in another city, and you now go and sleep overnight at your maybe friends or parents or in-laws. We do that all the time, right? You sleep with somebody. Do you know what I did? I put the hotel very close to the embassy. I don't want to have any conversation that will reset my brain overnight. Right here, talk about it. I want to sleep in a very comfy place. Wake up in the morning, and you know how Lagos is. Lagos traffic. Oh, have you been in Lagos traffic? 4 hours? Yeah. Sometimes you get Lagos. You are coming to Ibadan. You get to Ibadan. The person in Lagos will still be in traffic. I do not want it. You know when people are following you. That is when you are going for MWF interview. Is that money you will leave Ibadan for Lagos? That one is village people. Honestly. It's the village people. They follow you. Now, I was by myself. So, after the fellowship, I knew that each institute, because they usually pay us from different universities, like 25 universities. I was at Northwestern University, Kellogg School of Business. So I knew they were going to pick one person, somebody that will speak on behalf of the group at Washington DC. Now Washington DC is a big deal because that is where you see people like, in fact, people like Ben Carson came. Ben Carson I've been reading about. See, the distance between me and Ben Carson was like this. Ben Carson was speaking, I was like this, and I was thinking about my life. Is this real? Am I dreaming? Ben Carson I've been reading, think big. And I feel like Ben Carson like this, looking at me, smiling back. I'm like, hey! Right? Now, how did I get to speak in Washington DC? See, when you have a class full of superstars, how then do you brand yourself? What I did was very simple. In the class, I made sure that I did not talk until and unless I had something tangible to say. That was number one. Number two, I made sure that I told stories, compelling stories that people would find hard to forget. Do you know why? Because facts tell, but stories sell. Transportation is to persuasion. You are going to hear a lot of things today, but the things you remember are not the 4 points, to save, or 3 ways, to win global opportunities. It is the stories that we told today that you remember. True or false? So therefore, I combine storytelling with smart showmanship in class. The very smart one. And essentially, when there was time, they said, "Oh, who will represent us?" They said we should come out to teach and stuff. In fact, it was by nomination. There was one guy that stood up to nominate me. He said, "It's this guy." I did not talk to him. There was no arranging. He said, "It's this guy." He said, "Why are you nominating him?" He said, he's a storyteller. If there's someone who can represent Christian, this is the guy. They said, "Okay, yeah, you come outside. Let's vote." The people have been talking in class. Guess what? The gap between myself and the second position, it was as wide as the gap between Lagos and Ibadan. Now, do you think that it was the day of voting that I won? No. I contributed my vote over 6 weeks. It's branding. Branding is how you position yourself in people's minds. Branding is when people need somebody to deliver something. Guess what they are thinking about? They are thinking about you. When people need a particular journalist to deliver a particular thing, who are they thinking about? They are thinking about you. When people need a nurse who can get something done, who will represent maybe your school or something outside the country, who are you thinking about? You. You need to be branded because when you are branded, you cannot be stranded. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Your brand needs to be so strong that in that field that you've carved, that niche that you carved for yourself, when they need somebody, an expert to deliver, it is your name. In Yoruba, I like the way Tal says, when you're Renan Solibo, that's brand. That's the power of branding. Okay, so that person, I don't know, but I want to assume that people is your passion. Right? Now, what I will say is that passion does not pay the bills. You need to follow the money. It's very important. You need to be real with yourself. This big making that you're on, look at yourself in the next 2-3 years. What is the practice that you'll be able to make a lot of money? Now, there are people in that space that are making money, right? But do the maths. What is the practice that if I stick with my accounting, I'll probably make more money? It's very important. So, the thing is, billionaires also about this. In fact, sometimes you see Bill Gates playing tennis. Is he making money from tennis? That's his hobby. Passion does not pay the bills, so you need to be smart about it. So that's my advice to you. Do a soul search. If you find out that accounting is really where the Lord will bless you and your family, stay on that accounting, do your professional courses, and you can be making beats on weekends. I'm making beats for your husband and your wife and people in your family. Everybody will be happy. Will everybody be blessed? everybody will be happy. So you don't necessarily have to turn happy making into your career, except fashion is really what you want to do. And if that's what you want to do, pour yourself into it.
Alright, question 2. I always want to be better than my boss. He taught me how to do bead making, but I just still
people are here. Okay. Yes.
I always want to be better than my boss that taught me how to do bead making, but I just still don't know how to go about. I think she's talking about self-improvement.
Self-improvement. How can you?
What she does.
See, it's about your network. Jimon said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's about your network. If you find yourself stuck, like you're not improving fast enough, you need to change your circle of friends. The people you surround yourself with. Like, surround yourself with people who are already doing every day what you want to do someday. Do you understand? They are friends that you see. Friendship is by choice, so you need to be strategic. Still last night, there was still about 2 or 3 friends of mine that I called. I'm like, I just want to check how you are doing and stuff. Why? Because I see that they are on a level. They are moving at a very fast rate. One was telling me that at 9 p.m. he was still in his office and he's a consultant to one bank. You can see that these people are on a very fast pace. So for people like that, you need to attach yourself. Somebody say attach. Yeah. So if you find yourself stuck, like you're not going fast enough, change your circle of friends. I think that's the fastest way to grow.
Okay, now a final question. You have been talking about brand.
Okay.
Can you give a practical way of branding yourself and how to walk your way to the top?
Okay, so let me give you an example of how I have branded myself as someone running a digital agency. So I run a digital agency called ePower. Now, if you follow me online, a lot of the things that I share are usually around leadership, entrepreneurship, and of course, digital marketing. A lot of those things. Now, because of my activity on social media, what happens is that when newspapers or TV stations, when they need an expert to speak on something, guess who they call? They call me. Please, are you following this? Now, you know that when newspapers or TV stations, all these people, when they talk about you know that their own websites and their reputation online is very powerful. So if you get featured on a major media apps, what is going to do to your reputation, man? It's going to boost it. Let me give an example. Right now in Google, if you type Oluwagbenga into Google, Ogunbo will be one of the suggestions. You can try it right now. You can try it right now as I'm talking to you. Now if you now type Oluwagbenga, it's my name. I want my name. If you now type Ogunbo into Google, hello, I am on page 3. And do you know why? Because there are 2 people in my family who are based in the States, they play basketball, they are very famous. And they have taken over the family with the 2 of them. Now, part of my goal is to surpass them. And, you think we came here to play? See, you need to own your name, that's step 1. Own your name, and how do you do that? Make sure that you are visible. Events like this, your industry, they are doing things, be present, let people know you, let people know what you're good at. And media. You need to have friends in the media, very important. At least 2. Have friends, triple, but they have to be your friends. If you are making beats, for instance, and you have a friend at triple, and the friend in triple is saying, I need beats, they will not pay for it though. You will send it to them, so they are. You need to make them your friends, so that they can what? Write about you, talk about you, because it will help your reputation. When your name comes up, or your brand comes up, when people are searching for things, it means that your brand is becoming recognized nationally. You're becoming a brand nationally. That's how you build a brand. That's how you build a brand. You're visible, you ensure that reputable people talk about you, they endorse you. How many of you are following the election in America? Is there anybody here following the election in America? Joe Biden, for instance. I know this is a very good branding example. Joe Biden was, after the first 3, some people call primary in Nigeria. Joe Biden was like explain Yoruba, like his candidacy was really down. Do you understand? Then he won a particular state, South Carolina. How did he win the state? One, the topmost black politician in the Congress endorsed him. It was an endorsement. When that guy endorsed him like this, he won South Carolina. Because he won South Carolina now, other people started endorsing him. And then now he's a top runner because of an endorsement. So branding is very key. The kind of people that talk about you. See, it's not just about who you know, it's also about who knows you. So in conclusion, make sure that you keep a relationship with influencers, powerful people that can endorse you, that know your worth, right? And be visible. If you are the best dancer but you're dancing in the dark, nobody knows you. So be deliberate. Thank you very much.
Alright, just before you go, just give us 1 minute. And before I, go to the conclusion, I want to speak on something instead about having friends in media. Now, I am a journalist. I've worked with radio, TV, and screen, and even online. And let me tell you this: if you've not take away anything from it, just take away this. We're always looking for content. We're always looking for people. If I want to talk about politics, women in politics now, I go to my contact and check. Who do I know that is very vocal when it comes to women in politics? Who do I know that is very vocal when it comes to women in education or in business? So you need to be very visible, one. Then two, you need to be aggressive about that solution that you are pitching or that problem that you're solving. That way, someone somewhere is watching, and one day I will meet someone maybe you want to who can teach, who can tell us how she made it big with speed making, and you be the first person I'll pick up. Or someone who can tell us how she started from nothing with speed making, and you be the first person I'll pick up. Now I know that my aunt's thing here is a critical herbalist. If tomorrow I talk about merging medical practice with herbalism, I'll pick up her. So you just like you be visible and also have friends with the media. That's my wanted to say. Now permit me to ask you to appreciate me. He has done a whole lot of work today. And also call on the mom of the convener, Mrs. Gloria Gile, to come present his award to me. Yes, as someone who has advocated for leadership and empowerment of youth, including women in society. We celebrate Mr. Oluwagbenga and we say thank you. I will call upon the convener to come on stage.
Somebody.
Hallelujah.
Yes. I want to present. I did love your program, but I want to talk about your life. I want to appreciate you for the work you have done. I want to appreciate you for your concern concerning this program, and I want to give you this award as an appreciation from the convener of Kenya.
It's